Hey guys, so if you are watching this, you are probably struggling right now with creating an equation, right? So
Write the equation.
you need to write the equation of this line in the slope-intercept form. Now, think about that. Looking at this line, I need to create an equation from it. Now, we always talked about this in the past, right? We always talk about our slope, and we talk about our y-intercept, okay? Now, our slope is which letter inside our y equals mx plus b? Which letter is the slope? It is the letter m, right? And the letter b means y-intercept. So we need to find this guy and this guy. And then we have our equation, okay? The y equal stays the same, that letter x stays the same. Okay, so you're just replacing basically two variables with this whole thing. And so strategy number one is we need to create some triangles in order to figure out this slope. Okay, now to create a triangle, and we already have the long line right here, we only need 2 points. So my favorite place to look first is the y-intercept on the y-axis. So look at the y-axis right here. Okay, where does the line touch? Okay, tell me when to stop. Oh, right here? No, right here. Okay, so there is my first point. And what do you notice about that point? Look at that. The y-intercept is right next to the number 2. So guess what? You already know the y-intercept. You see this b? Replace it with a positive 2. And you're halfway done because you found the y-intercept plus 2. Okay? Now you need to find a second point that's friendly. And what I mean by that is it has to be lined up with two numbers. So if I go up and follow this line like this, watch this. And let's say, oh, I want to make my point right here. Well, I mean, awesome, it's lined up with the 3 right here. But if you follow this down here, it's not lined up with anything. So that can be very confusing, right? So you don't have to make your point right there. I want you to go farther. Keep following the line until you find where it's lined up with two numbers. So let's try this part, because I see it's lined up with a 4. So I'm going to draw my little dot. Oh, it's not working. There you go. My little point. Okay, this is lined up with the 4. It's also lined up with the 1. Ooh, that's an easy point then to count, right? Since it's lined up with those two things, here's my new point. Now, we go back to our old point, and we're going to make a triangle. You guys see this line right here? We already have a line right here, so we don't have to make that, right? You can just count that as our long part of the triangle. So watch this. We're going to go straight up until we're lined up with the other dot. Boom. That's where you stop. There's my rise. I rose 1, 2. So I went up 2. That was my rise. Okay? It's rise over run, if you don't remember that from the last video. And now I need to go to the right. Let's see. One time. Boom. Just like that. So I rose 2, and I went to the right once. So that means my run was 1, and that means my rise over run is 2 over 1. Okay. You could put this down as two ways. Honestly, I don't care as an educator how you put it, whatever you're comfortable with. You can put it as 2 over 1x. Or you could put it as 2. Oops. And the reason why you could put it as 2 is because look at this. It's kind of like a division problem, right? Like 2 divide that by 1, that equals 2. So either one works. I prefer putting the whole number, but if you like 2 over 1, I say go for it. Okay? So here is your equation. Y equals 2 over 1x plus 2. So now we go down here, and we're going to write that down. Okay? We're going to put y equals, and then I'm going to use a little fraction button right here. 2 over 1x plus 2. And see, that's my right answer. Ready? It says I got it right. Nice. Okay, so the secret there, right? Let me change my camera angle for a second. So 2 secrets. You need to know your equation, y equals mx plus b. and you need to know what this is your slope, and you need to know that this is your y-intercept. Okay, when you replace this and this with the correct numbers, you will have your equation every single time for a straight linear line on a graph. Okay, so let's go back to the graph and I'll show you two more examples. So this one, okay, I gotta look at this one. I need to find my y-intercept first. Let's see here. Where does it touch? Where does it touch? Right here. So I gotta put a point right here. And so now I know my y-intercept is equal to 3. Remember, I put a b there because the letter b stands for y-intercept. So I'm halfway done. Okay, so I'm going to put a positive 3 right here at the end because that's where the y-intercept goes. Remember, the letter m, where that letter m goes, put the slope now. So find a friendly point. Remember we talked about it last time? That's not friendly. It's only lined up with the 1. It's not lined up with anything else. This is not friendly. It's not lined up with this. This is not friendly. Ooh, what about right here? Let's see, I'm going to put a dot here. It's lined up with the 4. It's lined up with this 4. Oh, perfect. So I found a friendly point on the graph. So now I draw my triangle. Okay, I got to go up until they're lined up. Right here. Oops, close that. So go up. Boom, pause right there. Now I got to run. Run over here. And now I count. I went 3 to 4, so I went up 1. Then on the x-axis, I went 1, 2, 3, 4. I went to the right 4 times. So my rise goes on top. It was a 1. My run was a 4. So this slope is 1 over 4. And I can't divide that because it'd be 0.25. We don't want decimals right here. You want to keep this a fraction or a whole number. Okay, so keep it like this, 1 over 4. So I put 1 over 4x plus 3. And there is my equation. So now I got to type in y equals the mx plus b, but the m, our slope, was the 1 over 4. And our y-intercept, where it touched the y-axis, was the number positive 3. And hit submit. We got it incorrect. How did we get it incorrect? What did I put? You answer, oh my gosh, Mr. Smart, I made a mistake. Look at that. Look what happens when you go too fast, guys. Because on paper, I wrote down the correct answer, which was y equals 1 over 4x plus 3. This one right here, I didn't have my x. I went too fast. Oh, don't be like me. Make sure you write down the whole equation, right? The x is there too. Boom. I made a mistake, and now instead of getting an A out of 5 questions, I will get a B, a 4 out of 5, which is 80%. So try not to be like me, guys. Try to be better. Okay. So I also want to show you a negative one, and this is perfect opportunity to talk about the difference between negative and positives. Okay. Right here is, look at this. So what's my y-intercept this time, guys? Let's see. You know what? I'm going to learn from my lesson last time. I'm going to just write out my equation and go slow. Because if I go too fast, I get it wrong. Okay. So right here. Where does it touch the y-axis? Looking for my y-intercept. Right here. What number is that? Tell yourself, is that a positive or negative 5? That's a negative. So that your b is equal to a negative 5. Okay. And it's okay to have negatives there. Now we got to find a friendly point. Follow the line. When it's lined up with 2 numbers right here. Okay. Now, as you notice from your first point to the second, it's not going up and to the right. We're going to go down and to the right. So that makes this a negative. So when you go down, it's not plus 1, it's minus 1. And to the right was positive 2. So my slope is not a positive, but it's a negative now. So negative 1 over 2. Now, learn from my mistake from last time. I'm going to go slow. I'm going to write my equation really slow first before I even type it. Okay? So my b is -5, so replace the b with a -5. Do you guys see how I got rid of the plus symbol? The reason why I do that is because it's no longer a positive b, it's a negative b. So put that negative symbol there. It's okay to erase the plus sign. Put a minus sign instead. Now my slope, make sure the x stays there because that was my mistake last time. Let's put a -1/2 right here. Is it important to have that negative symbol? 100%, because that negative symbol doesn't make it go up to the right, it makes it go down to the right. Okay, so here's my whole equation. I'm going to type this in really slow so I don't make that mistake again. Okay, y equals a negative symbol. My rise was 1, my run was 2. Now put the letter x, boom. Didn't repeat my mistake, we're good now. And don't put a +5, put a -5 because we started at -5, not up here positive, okay? Now let's see if we got it right. Hit submit, and we did. We didn't make that mistake again, okay? And I'm just going to go fast on this one, show you one more time how it's done. So think about y equals mx plus b. So my y-intercept is -6. Start right here. Find a friendly point, follow the line, not friendly, not friendly, not friendly, very friendly. It's lined up with 4 and a -7. It's going down 1, so the -1, and to the right 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So it's a -1/4 is my slope. My y-intercept is a -6, so I'm going to put y equals -1/4x minus, not a plus, -6 because it's a negative. So y equals 1/4, oops, let's put that as a fraction, 1/4 as a negative, almost messed that up, x minus 6. You see how that I almost made another mistake? When I go too fast, I'm just going way too fast. Okay, guys. And I just realized you couldn't see that the whole time. But now you can. Yay. There you go. There's your answer, okay? Thank you for watching. If you have any questions about that, you can ask your teacher or Mr. Smart in the class. Also, if you want to practice this, make sure you go to on iExcel AA.7. So AA.7. Thank you very much for watching.